The video you are watching has been created to demonstrate the superior features, construction, and performance of security engineered machinery disintegrator systems with MX steel sound enclosures. To highlight the quality of SEM equipment, we will show a series of side-by-side comparisons of an SEM system with MX enclosure and a typical competitive system with enclosure. The first thing you'll notice is how good the MX sound enclosure looks. Its modular panels are fabricated from powder-coated steel for aesthetics, durability, maximum sound dampening, and excellent resistance to fire. The competitor's enclosure is constructed of 2x4s and plywood, covered with foam and wrapped in industrial-grade carpeting. It doesn't look as good, controls sound as well, and could possibly be flammable. These panel cutaways provide an even clearer picture of the differences. The MX enclosure has 16-gauge steel encasing 6 pounds per square foot of sound-deadening, fire-retardant mineral wool. A plastic vapor barrier prevents moisture. All of these components combine to create an enclosure that reduces noise by up to 20 decibels and meets Sound Transmission Class STC 40 with measurements made in accordance with ASTM E90-90. As stated earlier, the competitive enclosure is made of plywood, 2x4s, foam, and carpet. There's really not much more to say. Now let's look at some operational and performance differences between the MX sound enclosure and a competitive sound enclosure. The controls on the SEM system are mounted conveniently on the door of the MX sound enclosure. The optional Platinum user interface shown here features a combination keyed power switch and e-stop, start and stop buttons, and indicator lights for equipment on, overfeed, and timed shutdown. This interface provides controls for both the disintegrator and the air evacuation system. The controls on the competitive system are a little less sophisticated. They consist of 2 rather crudely cut holes in the enclosure panels. The operator must reach through a hole in the front to turn on the disintegrator, and then move to the side of the enclosure and reach through a second hole to start the air system. To simplify feeding of the SEM disintegrator, the MX sound enclosure features a door within a door to provide easy access to the feed hopper. The competitive unit offers nothing more than a rudimentary cutout in one of the doors. Feeding the system is quick and easy, not only because of the location of the convenient feed door, but also because of the SEM disintegrator's angled feed chute. Note that the operator need only drop the paper over the edge and gravity does the rest. There's never a need for the operator's arms to enter the feed chute. The Platinum user interface provides constant visual status, telling the user that it is okay to feed or alerting them of a potential overfeed condition. The competitive disintegrator requires the operator to reach deep into the feed chute to get paper to fall into the destruction chamber, and the enclosure has no status indicators to tell him when it is okay to feed or when an overfeed condition might be present. Every SEM disintegrator is paired with a properly sized, proven air evacuation system that carries waste from the disintegrator to 2 50-gallon collection bags. A soundproof window allows operators to monitor the level of waste in bags without opening the enclosure door. In addition to capturing disintegrated waste, the air system collects virtually all dust and particles preventing them from contaminating the work environment, both inside and outside of the enclosure. Even after continuous use, the area in and around the MX enclosure remains clean and dust-free. Competitive systems typically used undersized air systems with cartridge-type filter media that only capture some of the dust. As more and more material is fed into the disintegrator, the level of dust and particles increase. And while dust is clearly visible to the naked eye, a special lens filter shows just how bad the airborne contamination can get. The MX enclosure has a master electrical panel that simplifies electrical installation and control of both the disintegrator and the air system. The competitive enclosure has nothing more than a hole drilled in the back that electrical cables can be fed through. The MX enclosure's light-colored walls and built-in light fixture provide exceptional visibility when working inside the enclosure. The competitive enclosure with dark walls and no light fixture requires workers to bring a flashlight when they enter it. Finally, there's the issue of installation. Because of the modular panel design of the MX enclosure, setup is easy and can be completed quickly, usually in just an hour or so. Because of the MX enclosure's independent frame construction, wall panels may be removed without the need for additional supports or removal of the roof. The competitive enclosure requires a little more effort. Installers permanently erect the structure on site using nails, screws, and shims. The entire process can easily take more than a day to complete. There are a lot of factors to consider when choosing a disintegrator system. But any way you look at it, an SEM system with MX steel sound enclosure is far superior to anything offered by our competitor. To find out more about MX sound enclosures or any of our products, call an application specialist or browse our website.